Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestlers Mate. It's another edition of Raw out of 10. And yeah, lots going on in this episode of Raw. The New Day versus the Bloody Bloodline is on this show, just randomly out of the blue. And of course it is the go-home show for Extreme Rules. So there's a lot happening, and let's get straight into it with the New Day kicking off Raw. Big E, the new WWE champion, was out there as well. The crowd chanted, "You deserve it," and Big E thanked them before calling out the Usos and Roman Reigns. Roman and his cousin joined him in the ring with Paul Heyman as we headed for the tag team match shortly after. Jimmy and Kofi kicked off the match, and Kofi hit an early dropkick, getting a near fall. He hit a splash on the rope before tagging Woods, who hit a move before Big E got the tag in. Jay got the tag in, and Woods and Kofi were back in and managed to hit a double move on him. Roman managed to send Kingston over the announcer's table as we headed to a break. Kofi was then brutalised in the ring by Roman before he returned from the break, and Kingston tossed Jay out of the ring. Big E then hit a belly-to-belly suplexes before wiping out the Usos on the apron. Roman hit a big slam and got a near fall before Woods tagged in, and Xavier got a near fall when Roman hit Bobby Lashley. Roman got a move. Bobby Lashley came in, hit a spear to Big E, took out the Usos, and Kofi and Woods realised what was happening. Reigns took advantage and picked up the win. After the match, Lashley ran into the ring and hit a spear on Roman before stepping out and spearing Big E through the barricades. Yeah, this all came out of nowhere. I mean, I hope we get a finish, but clearly we didn't get a finish. So yeah, it was probably a 7, maybe even 8 out of 10 match, but because of the distraction, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Disappointing stuff. Backstage on Raw, Bobby Lashley walked out to Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville and demanded the match with Big E. Riddle was then giving a pep talk to Randy Orton ahead of his match with AJ Styles tonight, or whenever. Eva Marie was then facing Doudrop for about the 50 millionth week in a row. Eva got the mic and called Doudrop a mess, and she said that she could never be like her. After the match started, Eva kept running out of the ring, and Doudrop chased her before she was nearly counted out. Eva was dragged into the ring by Doudrop, and Marie was being manhandled, and Doudrop hit a senton for an easy win. Yeah, that's all well and good, but where is this going? 5 out of 10, it's boring and repetitive stuff. Before backstage, a very angry Big E walked out to Deville and Pearce, demanding a match with Roman and Big E. Paul Heyman walked out to the GI and tried to get the match called off, but they'd already made a triple threat official. Bloody hell, where did that come from? Not complaining though. Before we got Randy Orton versus AJ Styles, not complaining about this either. Styles and Orton were facing each other next, and Randy got the early distraction before Amos tried to distract him. Randy stomped on AJ before Amos grabbed him by the leg and dropped him. The referee sent Amos backstage and Riddle mocked him before the Giant wiped him out with an uppercut. Back on Raw, Randy was sent into the corner but managed to come back with a series of lariat. AJ then hit a sudden power slam before he blocked it on RKO and locked in a sleeper hold. Orton then hit an exploder suplex and managed to hit the Leaping DDT and an RKO to pick up the win. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, it's a fun little TV match. I enjoyed it. Baszler and Nia Jax were having a backstage confrontation, and they were about to face each other next, and that's exactly what they did. Jax lifted Baszler early on during the match before Shayna got a few kicks in, before Nia lifted Shayna on her back again, but Baszler blocked the hold and locked in Jax' move before Jax fell back on the floor before passing out for good. Shayna attacked her after the match and kicked her off the apron before trapping her on the ring steps and stomping on it. Shayna set her up on the steel steps one more time before stomping on her arm again. And yeah, Shayna looked dominant here. It's the opposite way I was expecting it to go, but you know what, I'm actually very happy about this. Please just keep it up consistently, and you never know, we could get peak Shayna Baszler again. Yes please, 7 out of 10. Next up we got Mustafa Ali and Mansour versus Gaza and Carrillo. Gaza and Carrillo hit double team move on Ali early on before Humberto locked in a submission move. Mansour was tagged in and sent Carrillo into the corner before they hit a double team move. Humberto was sent outside of the ring and he was forced Mansour into the ring. Ali went after Carrillo, but Gaza wiped him out. Back in the ring, Carrillo locked in a submission move before Gaza hit a drop kick on Ali for the win. It was literally just here. It was very random. But yeah, fine, whatever. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Because it just feels like they were thrown together for the sake of it, really. Before we got Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley coming out for their match, but had a quick promo about Connor's cure, which is always nice. Before it was the women's title match, Tamina and Natalya versus Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley. Tamina and Nikki kicked off the match. Nikki was isolated early on and hit a double team move before Nikki got tagged out and eventually got tagged back in, and Ripley attacked Tamina on the outside before hitting the Riptide on her. In the ring, Nikki rolled up Natalya and picked up the win. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. I mean, it literally came out of nowhere, but yeah, the reign's finally over, where they've lost 90% of their matches, but another old couple tag team. It just looks so insignificant. Before, Alexa Bliss was out next with Lily on Raw and a special guest Charlotte. Flair was out and Alexa called her the fun place before asking her what happened to Charlie. Flair was quiet and Alexa brought Charlie out before Charlotte said that she wanted the old Alexa back. Flair said that all she was doing to attempt to hide how delicate Alexa was, before saying that her doll was more popular than Bliss. She said she was not there to play, but to beat some sense into Alexa. Bliss mocked Charlotte, and Alexa said that Charlie was a pity gift and that Alexa would take the title away. A brawl broke out and Alexa went down to the mat, but then came back before Charlotte took her out again. Charlotte then tore Charlie up and went for Lily, but Alexa stopped it. Weird shit, but whatever, it was fine. Before Drake Maverick and the 24/7 title chasers were playing to distract Reginald with a net backstage on Raw. Gulak distracted the champ, but Reginald managed to escape, and the net fell on Gulak as Reggie ran away. Brilliant. Before we got Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. Damian Priest was on commentary and Sheamus took Hardy down in the corner before Jeff reversed a big move and hit a drop kick. Hardy then dropped Sheamus off the apron before the Irish Star dropped him on the apron after catching a dive. Back after a break, Sheamus hit a huge top rope lariat before getting a high knee off the counter. Hardy kicked out of a pin attempt before rolling Sheamus out for the win. Sheamus and Priest got in a brawl after the match, and the champ managed to wipe the Celtic Warrior out of the ring. I'm giving this 6 out of 10. I mean, yeah, this US title stuff, it just keeps on ticking along. Hopefully we get a conclusion in Extreme Rules, but we will see. Next up, we finally got this crazy triple threat match in the main event. Big E, Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley. Big E hit a big clothesline on Lashley before setting him up on the apron for a big splash before Roman took out with a drive-by before he headed to a break. Back on Raw, Lashley was in control of the match and Big E managed to take him down before Reigns came back in and sent Lashley out before getting a near fall. The Almighty took Reigns out at ringside with a counter and got a near fall of his own in the ring before Lashley hit a spear on both opponents before E came back in and hit Slam. Reigns then hit a Samoan drop on E before taking Lashley into the corner and to the top rope for a superplex. But Big E came in and took them both out. Roman took a belly suplex from Big E before Lashley sent them into the barricades outside. Lashley then hit a vertical suplex to Reigns as he kicked out. Big E then reversed the next finisher from Lashley before taking a belly suplex. Big E tried to pin both men with a splash, but Lashley managed to break it up. Big E dodged a Superman punch and hit the big ending on Reigns, but Lashley broke it up on Raw. He then sent Big E through the table. Lashley went for a spear, but Roman countered with a Superman punch. Lashley hit the spear on Roman, but Big E broke the pin before the Almighty tried to hit the Hurt Lock. Big E then took Reigns out with a big ending before Lashley hit E with a steel chair to break the pin and kept hitting him. Lashley was going after Big E with a chair when Roman Reigns came in and hit the spear to pick up the win. Yeah, I expected Roman Reigns to win. That's just how dominant he is in the moment. But still, this was bloody fantastic. Absolutely loved every second of it. Big men just slapping each other as hard as they could. I mean, what more could you want on Monday night? Very, very entertaining stuff. And yeah, as I said, really enjoyed it from start to finish. Definitely a very nice surprise as well. So on the whole, I'm going to give it a very nice 8 out of 10. Overall, Raw this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, for me, this was probably actually one of, if not, probably the best Raw of the year, actually. Obviously, there's still major flaws in it. Lots of it is just filler. But on the whole, it was just a really, really entertaining and fun show to watch, and we don't say that about Raw very often, so yeah, very, very positive. But anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, let me know your thoughts, comments down below, follow me on Twitter, thank you for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to the channel on the screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching, peace.